Look at that, guys. We paid off our debt. Not really. Hi everyone, welcome back to our net worth and our debt payoff progress report. I'm going to share with you how we ended out 2020. So if you're interested in seeing how I track our debt payoff and our net worth, as well as just to see how we're doing, then let's jump on the Excel sheet. Alright, so I just do a very basic tracking inside Excel as far as my net worth goes, and then I have a few what are called amortization schedules, if you will, that I use to track my debt payoff. So we have our net worth. I basically just have every date. So I started tracking it this way in February of 2020, so you're going to see I have through the year. And we started off with our home, the home value based off of what it was on Zillow, how much we still owed on the loan, and then it gave us what our equity in the home was. So this is basically an amount that goes towards our net worth. March, we refinanced our house, and this way we went from a 30-year mortgage to a 20-year mortgage, and we went from like a 6.5% interest to like a 3.25% or something like that. So we saved quite a bit of money and quite a bit of time by refinancing. So at this point, you'll see we actually had a value. This was an actual appraisal. We had a professional appraisal come out. So this is how much it was, and we left it at that until Zillow kind of caught up with what its value was stating, and it surpassed the value from our appraisal. So then starting in July, we started using the value off of Zillow again. So if you see here, last time I shared with you guys, I believe we went over October. So we've added November and December's numbers on here, and so you can see the value of our house creeped up. We're finally in the 200,000s. We purchased the house for about 165,000, and at that time the appraisal was 165,000, and that was back in June of 2018. So the value of our house has gone up quite a bit, and we've been paying our minimum payment. In addition, we are paying $200 extra towards just the principal. So our payment is almost $1,000 a month, is about 900 and something, and it's pretty cut in half. So about 400 of it, 450 is going to interest, and the other half is going towards paying off the loan. So then basically every month between paying our regular payment, so about 400 and something was going towards the loan, and the extra 200, we've been paying about 600 off on the house, and then the value of the house has been increasing as well. So we basically ended the year out with $44,766. So it's pretty cool to see. Now obviously our goal is to pay off this house and to keep this house for a very long time. If anything, maybe we would end up with a second property later down the road, right? We don't have any plans to sell this property, but if we were to sell it, basically minus commission and all that, this is roughly what we could see we could make from this house. This number here I had calculating just what the difference was from month to month. So from November to December, we gained about $7,000 worth of equity in our home. And as you see, most of that is just with the value going up. We'll see what happens, because there's all this talk that we're going to have another crash and this and that, so we'll see what happens. The second thing we document is my husband's truck. We've just been using the truck value off of Kelley Blue Book. We basically just left the value as is for the rest of the year, and then we'll start going like every quarter or maybe every 6 months, we'll go ahead and go back on Kelley Blue Book, redo the value based on the new mileage of the car and things like that. So we basically just said that it didn't change from the last month to the month before, and that the value of my husband's truck is about $20,205. We ended the year owing $16,883.18. This is another one where we're just paying the minimum payment. Our payment on the truck is $300, almost $370 every month, and maybe $250 of that, or you can see $260 of that went towards the principal. So it went towards the loan balance. The other amount went to interest. 21's goal is to have this paid off by September. So when we update this next month, you'll see we made an extra $2,000 principal only payment on the truck. So we'll see that number start to drop. So I'm super excited about that. But if we were basically to take what we owe versus what it's worth, we have an equity, if you will, in the truck of $3,321. So if we were to sell the truck, we would pay off the loan, and we have about $3,000 left. Again, we don't really plan on selling this truck anytime soon. Ricky will want an upgraded truck. That's just something that he wants. I have my dream car. I love my car, and I'm totally happy with my car. I bought my car brand new. Obviously, we don't recommend that you do that, but it was my dream car. And I got the car that had all the bells and the whistles. It was the limited edition, all of this stuff. Obviously, I don't say to go do that, but that's what I did. So I have a Toyota CHR. My husband has a Toyota Tacoma. So my car, same thing, we're just kind of going off of Kelley Blue Book. So we're saying my car is worth $23,210. I apologize for the jets. And I still owe $21,106. So my monthly payment is almost $450. And you can see here, only $344 of that is applied towards the balance. The rest is interest. Now, we were talking with the dealership about refinancing, and honestly, the only reason they reached out to ask us if we wanted to refinance was they were hoping that we wanted to lower our monthly payment. Well, how do you lower your monthly payment? You add more years, you add more time onto the loan, which, if you do the math, actually adds more expense, because now you're paying that loan like another year. That's, let's say, okay, this 400, let me get my calculator out real quick. I just have to show an example. So if my payment's $450 and I added 12 months, I would actually add $5,400 onto this car. And so when I talked to them and I said, well, actually, I don't want to lower my payment. I want to lower my years. I still have like 5 years on this car, or 6 years even. I don't know. It's a lot. We'll look at the amortization schedule. But I was like, well, I want to lower it to 4 years, and I don't care if my payment goes up. Like, I want to lower my time. They didn't call us back. They didn't call us back about doing it, and I quite frankly was like, you know what? I don't even want to deal with them about it anyways, because they clearly were contacting us about refinancing because they were hoping we would add time onto the loan, because they specifically were like, oh, do you want to refinance to lower your payment, because they think people are struggling and they want to lower their payment. This is what happens too with a lot of people who refinance their house. You refinance. Well, let's say you spent 10 years paying off your house, and then you refinance and you do another 30 years. Well, you're gonna pay another 10 years. You're adding 10 years onto your stuff. So think about it before you try refinancing. It's not always about getting a smaller monthly payment. It's about saving overall money. Okay, so that's my little tangent there. But anyway, so we have not refinanced the car. We were thinking about it. It didn't work out. We're focused on paying off the truck, and once the truck's paid off, we'll be paying off the car. So we're gonna have everything paid off in like 2 years anyways, so I don't even need to worry about refinancing it to a 4-year. So yeah. Alright, and then we have our category here is our savings. So this is basically cash on hand. What do we have in the bank? We've earmarked this stuff in the bank specifically for emergencies. So we have 1 month of expenses as an emergency fund. You're going to see a lot of red here. So we were taking some money out. So we had some expenses come up at the end of the year. Our hot water heater went out. So we had to take money out of the emergency fund. And then part of this money in the bank was also earmarked for vacation. So we have a vacation in May, and we went ahead and used that money to make our payment. We were originally going to go on an Alaska cruise. We canceled the cruise, and we're actually renting a houseboat with my girlfriends and all their kids, like all the kids. So we went ahead and paid for the houseboat, and then my friends will be chipping in their portion once we do the vacation. So some of that money will be regrouped, if you will. But so basically now our savings, we went from having about $10,000 in the bank. We have $7,000 in the bank. So we still have our 1 month of expenses as an emergency fund. My daughters have their savings accounts from the stimulus package. And then we still have our vacation money for December's vacation. We have a cruise planned for December of 2021, leaving from Florida. This one, fingers crossed it even happens, but either way, the flights are booked to Florida. So if the cruise gets canceled, we're still going to go to Florida. So we're still doing a vacation in December to Florida. It'll just decide whether we do an all-inclusive family resort or if we go to Disney World or something. So yeah, so that's what we have in the bank. So basically from November to December, we used about $2,800 out of our savings account. So Ricky's 401k is, we do 6% there. We ended the year, he had $18,574 in his 401k. So from the month before, that was $1,000 difference basically between what we put in and how much everything gained value. That's what we gained in a month. Now our goal for our retirement, I might share this with you guys really quick. I have this tab, it's a retirement thing, and I've calculated how much money we need to be financially secure, how much to be financially independent, financially free. And I've made these numbers based on with our current debt and having our kids, and then having without. So we don't have any debt and the kids are old enough and they've moved out. So I've come up with these numbers here, and then I've come up with just a goal, and I had, you can see here our goals based on how much we think we're going to be investing every year. We should be able to retire if we wanted to at age 55, but if we wanted to keep going, you know, we could retire with quite a bit of money here. So this is just, you know, I've used a compound interest calculator to kind of get these numbers. Our original first goal, I had it at 16,000, so we surpassed that original goal. We ended the year at 18,000. So I recalculated for this year. So this year the goal is between Ricky's investments, his retirement accounts, and my retirement accounts. We're planning to have basically close to $28,000 invested by the end of 2021. So fingers crossed. If you want me to go into this form in more detail in another video, give me a like and let me know in the comments, and I'll go over it in more detail. But this is something that helps me see what's going on. So anyway, so we reached that goal. My Roth, I did not check on the balance these last 2 months, so I'm just gonna put that it was the same. I had a Roth IRA. I opened it in February, and I was just doing $50 a month. And then when I started working at Amazon, I stopped doing the Roth IRA because I had a Roth 401k with Amazon. They match 50% up to like basically 2% of the 4%. So I'm just doing 4%. And then Ricky's employer matches as well. And I can show you that in another video of how that's calculated. So as of right now, I have about 406 in my Roth IRA and about 195 in my Roth 401k, and then I do have a Robinhood account. I have 184 on there. I set this up, I literally own like 3 stocks in there. They're dividend stocks related to real estate, so those I've just left there. And I may cash all this out, maybe I'll purchase more, I don't know. I was just kind of playing with it. Now this is not linked to a retirement account, so I can cash this out. I could sell these stocks or those shares that I have. I could sell them and take the money if I wanted to right now. So if I really was like, I need this $184, I would just go sell my stuff and get it. But that's not, we'll just let it ride for now. So basically, our total net worth ending out $77,178.14. That's huge. I mean, from last month, from November to December, that's basically a $6,000 increase. So we gained $6,000 worth of our net worth. Obviously, all of this stuff is not necessarily easily accessible, right? The value in the house, we would have to sell the house. The value in the vehicles, you'd have to sell the vehicles. The money in the retirement accounts, you would have to sell stocks and take out of retirement accounts and be taxed and be dinged and penalized and things like that. So it's not the true amount. Obviously, if you sell things, you're going to have commission costs and things like that. But it's nice to see that even though we're still in debt, we have a positive net worth. So we haven't totally drowned ourselves. Now let's look at the debt payoff. So like I mentioned, we have my husband's truck. So this is an amortization schedule. You put in the loan amount. So for Ricky's truck, we actually borrowed $21,214. It was a 6-year at 7.68%. Our payment every month is $369. If we were to make this payment, the minimum payment for 6 years, we would pay the $21,000 back, but we would also pay an additional $5,328 worth of interest. By us working our plan and deciding to pay this off early, we are only going to pay an extra $2,700 worth of interest. So we're saving $2,625. So when we first started, we didn't really put anything extra towards the truck. This month, we are in February, so we did put that $2,000 towards the truck. These numbers fluctuate just slightly, so I do need to wait for this payment on the 5th to go through and see how much was actually put on interest, how much was put towards principal and all of that to see the true value. But you can see we ended out, like I mentioned, we ended out the year at owing $16,623. So hopefully after that $2,000 payment, we'll be down into the 14,000s. The goal here, you can see, is to pay about $2,130. This looks like a random number. It's not really random. His truck company says that we cannot pay more than $2,500 in a month. Now, if we had all of the cash, if we had the $14,000 available, well then yeah, we would just pay one lump sum and pay off the truck completely. But if we're doing a monthly payment thing, it says we can't pay more than $2,500. So his regular car payment is the $369. So I've basically said, okay, what's $2,500 minus his regular car payment? That's the $2,130. That's how I came up with that number. So as long as we can pay this amount each month, and there's a few months where we're going to have a little less just because of income. I won't be working as much in the summer. Then we should make our final payment in December. So fingers crossed, wish us luck that we're able to do that. We did pay that $2,000, you guys. I did make that payment. So I need to go back in a couple days and see how was everything applied and to make sure that payment was applied to principal only. It was a whole ordeal I had to go through. With my car, and with our mortgage, you can make a payment and you just click a box that says principal only. With Ricky's truck, they did not make it as easy. I first had to call, and then they said, oh, well, we don't take those type of payments over the phone. You can either mail in a check or you can post a regular payment and then email customer service and say, please apply that payment to principal only. So I made the $2,000 payment. I emailed customer service about applying it to principal only. So I'm just waiting a few days for everything to clear and be processed and see if they fix it. Otherwise, I'll be contacting them again. So I'll keep you posted on that. But that's the goal for the truck. Let's look at my car. All right, so my car, loan amount was $30,000. Man, that's a lot of money. I don't remember it being so big. Oh yeah, okay, so I made a huge mistake of purchasing extended warranty. So I actually, you'll see here this $4,000 principal only payment. I canceled the extended warranty, and then that was taken off of the loan. So realistically, we borrowed $26,000. Okay, so that's some stuff there. But it was a 7-year loan. Okay, it's crazy. So if we would only make the minimum payment for that 7 years, we would pay an additional $6,800. Well, keep in mind there was that extended warranty, which was $4,000. So we would have been paying an extra $10,000 on this vehicle. That's insane. That's insane. So by paying it off, we're going to pay it off early. We're only going to pay $3,000 worth of interest, which technically it's saying it's saving us $3,500, but again, you got to add in that extended warranty I canceled of $4,000. So we're actually saving ourselves $7,600 by canceling the extended warranty and paying the car off early. So again, not paying anything extra. I was going to start paying an extra $100 on the car, but I decided, nope, let's just focus on the truck first. So we're not going to start paying extra on the car until you're going to see here in August, September of this year. But then what we're going to do is that $2,000, basically roughly $2,000 that we're paying on the truck will now start rolling over into paying that towards the car. So the goal, we would have the car paid off by May of 2022. So basically a little less than 2 years, right? Like a year and a half, both the car and the truck paid off. And the last one we're going to look at is the house. So this is our refinance. We did a loan of $160,000, 20 years, our interest. If we were to make only the payment for the 20 years, we would pay an additional $57,000. But because we're going to pay it off early, we're only going to pay $16,000 worth of interest, saving us $41,000. Now we're actually in reality saving a lot more than that because of the loan we had before. The loan we had before, that was a 30-year at 6%, we would have paid an additional like $93,000, maybe even $190,000. I don't remember. It was some outrageous number. But anyways, that's that. So you can see here we started it. We did the $200 extra. We are pausing on the $200 extra until the truck is paid off. Once the truck is paid off, we will bring back that $200, and then once the car is paid off, we then will put everything, the truck payment, the car payment, and anything extra we can towards the mortgage. So the goal we would have this paid off in February or January, we'll see, February or January of 2025. Basically 4 years, right? 4 years, hopefully. Yeah, so that's how I'm tracking it, okay? I have my amortization schedule so I can play with it and say, okay, if I paid $500 extra, what would that look like? If I paid, $1,000 extra, what would that look like? So I can track it that way. And then I have my form, my very, very basic net worth tracker that I can do. So I'm going to update this where I'm only going to show the first two numbers of how what it was changing. So when you join me next month, you'll see this whole year is going to be gone. We're just going to put it all together. We're going to consolidate it into one line and basically say, what did it look like from February to December, and that's that, and then we'll start the new year. Yeah, so join me next month and we'll see what we're doing. Now, I was coloring in our debt trackers as well, but my daughter got a hold of one. Look at that, guys. We paid off our debt. Not really. My daughter, I left this on the counter, and then I came home one day from work and my daughter had colored it. So I just need to print out a new one, and then I'll go ahead and color in. I'll finish out 2020's colors for you guys, and then we'll start next year up fresh again. So that was just silly that she did that. But I hope you are doing well on your debt-free journey, or you're reaching those retirement goals. Whatever your finance goals are, I wish you the best of luck. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye.